Right. Before this whole Escribo thing, look at what Guyana police force had in the vehicle. Police here, which is a submitting, showing these Venezuelans that they're submitting to them.
Yeah, but then they started to get wise and said, take it off.
Yeah, because they start get bombarded.
Yeah.
Right?
You start up
Bombarded. And then they decide to take it off. So they were submitting long before though.
Yeah.
So how much more the election? Huh?
I only speaking as a man, it don't sell.
Yeah.
It don't pass over. It's just for go and take it now.
Right.
Hey, there's no embarrassing thing like you cannot represent your house.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassing thing.
Mm-hmm.
For you cannot, as a man, represent your house. It's a very fucking embarrassing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Sometimes you can't even get to erection after certain things happen, like somebody come disrespect you in front of you, things like that.
Because you know what that does? That break your manhood down. You understand? Hey, that literally beat down your testosterone, though you may be a young man and you're vibrant. You understand? Because what? Now you see the body, the mind, and guess what? They're gonna look, the president, the opposition leader, they're all gonna look as fucking puppets.
Yeah.
That's all they're gonna look like. Because technically, they cannot. What these people supposed to be doing in the beginning, and as speaking as a man, they're supposed to enforce the military. When you get wealth, you're supposed to you buy a new car, what it does? You put an alarm on it to secure it. They have nothing to secure nothing. You understand? So they're just a walk over. That's all it is, a walk over. And guess what? You know what Venezuela is actually doing to Guyana? Raping Guyana.
Good. Ravishing shit.
Right?
Season without consent.
Without consent. Without. And guess what? Hey, Silapia, you get it. I mean, talking to that.
They're saying, Chan, you don't know who's we. Now Venezuela can say Guyana.
Guyana don't know who's we.
Yeah.
Because it just shows the power difference between the two leaders.
Yeah.
By a man just saying, hey, I'm going to get the election if I think the land is new. And the other one saying, hey, y'all don't worry, everything will be all right. Yeah, I tell my allies already what they say. Everything will be good.
The allies say if Venezuela attack, it will be a bad week. A bad week and a bad day for them. Yeah, I appreciate it.
This is Mark 3 and verse 27. It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house
There's a spirit by, there's a principle now looking for. Go ahead.
and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
And now we show you. So the head leader in Venezuela want to take down Ali and control So for spoil the whole house, you gotta bind the leader. And like how the leader in Venezuela say, hey, we gonna set up a police station in so and nobody can do nothing because he's supposed to say, hey, don't say, hey, no Venezuela for allow in this country, so for do no voting, nothing. You're supposed to say, hey, if anybody gonna vote, they get jail. You supposed to say, hey, no police station setting up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the words, you understand?
Yeah.
The words suggesting that, hey, this thing going to happen. But just that if anybody, vote and take it, that means you're going to do this or do that.
So now what you're doing, you're being a bitch.
Yeah.
Because now you're not dealing with the fucking opposition leader who coming against you. You're dealing with the citizen, which is weaker. You understand? You're ready to put them in the prison, but the man who's supposed to put in the prison, he get guns to you and put the in the prison. You see? So this will show you, and you know what? This gonna make fucking news, headline news, that Guyana allow Venezuelan to come in their country to set a polling station for our election. That is some
Hey.
fuckery.
And is he head of
You
the
know?
army side?
I know the fuck you could
Look.
come around people so, bro. Huh?
And is he head of the army side, you know?
Guy.
Who write the speech for you?
No, but even if it's
It's a alarm.
hey, it's an insult.
Nick,
It's an insult because after the police, it's supposed to be the soldiers, right? And when the soldiers come, and let me tell you the next thing, right? The president should have never. Give me advice, and this is why always the prophet was always important to the kings. Let me advise what's supposed to happen. The chief of staff should have never go out and give a speech like that.
That's right.
It show weakness. That's number one. They go in and run back to the authorities, and even going back to Venezuela and have a meeting. Guess what? It show weakness. Now, here what happened? That is scriptural too. What President Ali did. The scripture say he did start to build a house. If he noticed that this man is coming against him, somebody go get a preset. And a man basically not come the cost. It's in the book. Look, get it for me. Get it for me. Because it's sheer folly. And it to show you that you're not a king. You understand? Because as a king, when you stand as a king with authority, you know what? A man not supposed to even entertain the thought to come wrong. You feel any country would do that to President Putin?
Exactly, you know?
You feel any country would try that? Because they don't know. Watch, Omba ain't even he not even present himself. His name alone have weight. Read for me up.
yeah. This is Luke chapter 14 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
For which of you intend to build a tower and sit not down first
Mm-hmm.
and count the cost,
Go ahead.
whether he have sufficient to finish it?
Read more.
It says, let happily after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it.
I think you have to read a little bit up. I think we talk about seeing would he not go and sit down with the king and have a conversation basically? What verse you at there? Tell me where you at.
Luke 14,
Luke 14 and where you at?
28 and 30.
Luke 14, 28. Or you probably
Yeah,
have
go down.
you have to go down.
Yeah, go down.
Go ahead. Yeah, go down. I think it's 31. Tell me wrong there.
Yeah. Can we back to a 9? It says, less happily after he had laid the foundation
Mm-hmm.
and is not able to finish it,
Go ahead.
all that behold it begin to mock him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Say-
because you know the scripture said that in Sarah that you seek preeminence. And what is the preeminence? You went up to vote as a candidate that hey, I could serve and protect Guyana
Yep.
and the citizen. But the authority is given to you, and now you can't do it. So now you become a mockery. And not only you're gonna become a mockery to the so-called Guyanese, you're gonna become a mockery to the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
It says, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Read.
It says, or what king going to make war against another king,
Go ahead.
sitting not down first
Go ahead.
and counting whether he is consulting,
Mm-hmm.
whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him
Mm-hmm.
that cometh against him
So-
with 20,000.
So now you're supposed to sit down with your counselor, your cabinet, then as they say, and hey, are we able for this? You understand? And then if you're not able, you're supposed to make certain moves secretly,
Yep.
right? Correct. Now he just went and jumped straight to the sea. Go ahead, read them more.
It says, so likewise, whosoever,
What verse you at?
33,
32.
32, different words. It says, or else, while the other is yet a slap you,
Greater.
or else, while the other is yet a great way off,
Go ahead.
you send an ambassador.
You send an ambassador. Go ahead.
It says, and
And desire,
and desire
mhm,
conditional
conditional
peace.
of peace. So he didn't send an ambassador, he went himself and shaking the hands with the enemy. So in other words, your ambassador, your rank have no power, no weight. So sending an ambassador would be waste of time to the general.
That's right.
So you go yourself, and guess what? It's an embarrassment because Ombai still say, I don't have no time with no CG with the
ICJ.
ICJ. He said, I ain't care about it no more.
Yeah.
So your president, hey, I just doing this because this is what we supposed to do because war have rules,
Yeah.
right? So I doing this because we doing it. You understand? But I don't respect you. You understand? Again, these men are not going after this. They don't have the scripture. You understand? When David was going to war all the time, what he was doing, he was consulting with the prophet.
Yeah.
And the Lord tell the prophet what to do. And he said, hey, this is what you got to do in order for win the war. But there's no prophets, there's no leader in this fucking place right now.
That's
So
right.
that's why everything is. Go ahead, Axel.
The man leader in a Barjab, and the vice president telling him what to do and what not to do. The kind of thing like that's the man prophet.
Hey, but
The intelligence is artificial because president is not a president.
God.
Finally.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. See what you're saying, huh?
Yeah, if I make a point, because what? The prime minister is formerly a military man, right? And to have him not speak or give counsel, that means, hey, you don't need it. You just going ahead and just do your own thing.
Because how the party set up, right? Is PPPC specific. So they're bringing him now as like to show that hey, the party is not all about the party leadership is not all about Ilam.
Right.
You know, so they just got it as a rubber stamp. You don't really do nothing. You don't really give speeches. You know, no office, nothing.
Exactly.
You just there.
Now, that's a mortal truth.
Yeah.
Because in the corporate world, right, you discuss something the diversity hire.
Yeah.
You just hire somebody of a different culture and ethnicity.
Yes, correct.
Just to show that your organization.
One people, one
Yeah.
nation, one destiny. Yeah, we involve every nation. And this is what they actually do.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
it's supposed to be that if something happened to Ali,
He's
Prime Minister is supposed to take over. But it's
yeah,
set in place whereby that can't happen. You got to vote for somebody from the party to take over the position. He can't step up as president.
But he's the third right now because he got vice president before it. So,
I got precept.
yeah, go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 16. It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led, it says, and they that are led from them are destroyed.
That's right.
You know, so hey, you are following after these people, you're gonna get destroyed. Because what they're gonna do? They're gonna send you to the front, and they're gonna be running the ass at the back.
Huh.
Just such amount of little money.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hey, I got you. Look at God.
Yeah.
Now, when you watch it here, back account on the scripture, kings, they used to go and between the war and a fight and a fight.
That's
And a
right.
fight. But today now, these kings talking in building, hiding and say, y'all gonna kill yourself.
Because they don't have a king.
That's right.
Y'all gonna kill yourself.
Wow.
Whenever once y'all win, I win.
Yeah.
Say with a man who that physically is supposed to win.
Yeah.
And once y'all win, y'all
How's
come
the
back.
time thing too?
Once y'all win, y'all come back like suppress y'all vote.
A king, a man, a warrior is supposed to have scars.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what scars does? And this is why men now of today, they become so weak because they're in the tongue where women supposed to be.
Yeah.
You understand? Men supposed to be in the jungle. Men supposed to have scars. Men supposed to be hunting. This is they're supposed to get a food.
Yeah.
You understand? Why you feel Nimrod is called the mighty hunter? Why you feel they could have set you up as a king? Because what? He's a mighty man. There are no mighty men right now on the face of the earth except the prophets.
That's right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So not hunting, not being in the field, um, forest deficiency, all these things what break down a man testosterone. This is why you find a man always getting mad for nothing and he can't do what he gotta do. Because the system have you in such a cage. And hey, and starting with the fucking president and all of them. Because what you a president supposed to be fit, boy.
Yep. Yep.
You saying? The whole entire cabinet supposed to be fit. Right? The force supposed to be fit. You know, and hey, and the apostle, I mean, actually saying this, the reason they're training, because they train. He said the reason they're training and keeping themselves fit because things shit about to hit the fan soon.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, there's the spirit, right? Because it got a lot of people out there that actually gravitate to what going on. Them man actually people training.
Yeah.
People out there training that know going on the training.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing for saying, hey, we know the time we see them coming and so on, right? But there's no kind of fitness. There's nothing in doing. That's why the brother, the link that brother Kushal said, where the brother will get, when he man sneak up on him and start stabbing him. I know if y'all watch it.
Can't.
Right? That's a clear example. I mean, the most I was with him, but then again, he had whatever little training that he had to defend himself.
Yeah.
You understand? And not only with that, the man who worked with, he had a little medical training. Right? So, yeah, it's important that you gravitate to what's going on because it's like the other day, the man run away, them mirror. I reached about 2 blocks and up blowing like a motherfucker. You understand? This is a certain reality check is into because you for run for get somebody or you for run for somebody. Imagine you stand up in the car and say, wait, let catch your breath. Fucking lick serious. You understand? But then again, yes, your how about your shag be with trouble. Don't tempt the Lord, why?
Yeah, the scripture said that the bodily exercise profited little.
Profited little.
But sometimes read and it might say the little it mean nothing, but the little mean a lot.
Comparing is little comparing with wisdom for do.
Right.
Yeah.
God. Yep.
It's a great lot. But comparing with wisdom for do what? You understand? And wisdom will tell you need to get shit in there and it's still going on in this time by.
Yeah.
That's why these these magaman and them thing. Them are pit. The little weed smoking and all them are pit. Today watching a couple of them.
We're not telling anybody to smoke weed, but yeah. No, I said we're not telling anybody to smoke
No,
weed.
we're not telling nobody to smoke weed and them thing. A matter of fact, you know, the scripture said herbs, you know, yielding seeds for medicine.
Yeah, I
But
use
these men
it
go
as a
slackers.
wine and a tea. Go ahead.
Yeah, these men go about using it wrongfully.
Mm-hmm.
Right? One reason I said it because these men up to no good. They abuse drugs and so on. But comparing to a lot of people that sit down in the office or doing work where there's not much mobility, these men fit. Remember the scripture said how my people are basically willing to do stuff when it's evil. Right? That kind of thing. So
They're wise to do evil.
White.
They're wise to do evil. Yeah.
Yeah, right? By the time you get it, you know, because today I watch a football go over the trench. A big trench where alligator they in. Them Jake jump in there and go in for the ball and jump out back. You understand? Yeah, but just showing you know a normal person's safety wise you might think him by them man head and good. But apart from being a man by, that's one of the things risk taking come out from men. Because that's one of the power man is because you don't know on the other side, but yet still there's lack of fear.
And you actually said the key thing there because that's one of the things the Lord gonna take away from us, fear. Because when you face off an animal that is dread, he smell fear, he see fear.
Yeah.
It's like two men square up together, and a man ready to die. And we was talking about that on the live chat, the chat. When you see you ready, but if you know you're going and double, don't go frightened. Don't go bluffing because it's cause your life.
Yeah, you can show.
You understand? When you going to war, you gotta make sure you're going to war. Now I am being promoting these things, but in other words, you're saying, hey, nigga, try me. You understand? Push a button. You understand? So you find that going back to where you say, when them guys would jump overboard go for the ball, alligator there. Guess what? They jump over there saying that they can't do me nothing. And this is the mindset you had to get, and this is the mindset we have in this truth. This was get we out here fearless. People ask, how we come out here? How we talking about the question? How we saying these things? Y'all don't fear to put these things up. But guess what? The Lord is with us. We in fear.
Fear the Lord.
And it's what the scripture tell in the book of Genesis that the Lord have put a dread upon the sons of men, so that everything could fear us. You understand? You see, right now, there's the courses where we so fearing things, fearing the like a simple thing. You fear for lose your woman, you fear for you lose your children, you're frightened if your mother die, if your father die. There's a part of life you gotta accept these things.
Yeah.
You see, and there's you now dealing with fear. Fear is weakness.
When Abraham went for Lot, you think Abraham is going with fear?
No, but it's a beautiful thing. Like you said, he went for Lot, but Abraham didn't take many men with him. You know what he did? The scripture said he trained them and went for Lot.
Yeah.
And this is what you was actually talking about. We need to train our mind. Train. Keep yourself fit. And this is one of the reasons too, Akim, for younger brothers too, this is why we sit down and we get sick. Because what? We're not active. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get it. This is Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
It says, For my people is foolish. They have no knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They are sottish children. They
Still up here, right? And that's one of the reason these men don't take nothing serious. Because they have the nature and not taking things serious, they don't care. They don't care how the outcome of the severity or it will affect others. Right? Minister someone gonna bring 4 months, so there's a monster mentality. Them man got no care. You understand? So these men are brutish. Beasts, like, you understand? No last statutes and commandment. From what? From their cancer, you have a power in their mind. It's over to the flesh.
Yeah.
Right? It's over to the flesh. Like a tutor was asking me what's the difference between what separates me from animals. Right? Basically explain that hey, we are this beast, but the image of Yahweh, which in wisdom, right? The upper dominion mindset was given unto man, right? Which is a separate species, does us. You understand? Basically, there's the embodiment that was chose for house the spirit or the men of the Lord, right? Which is we call today human. But going back from there without this wisdom and so on, it's brutish beast.
Hey, Selector, right? I just want to make a real valid point real quick. I was reading back, what's the second Ezra? We say, in the sixth part, understanding, and in the second part, and in the seventh part, right? Give them cognition. Those will separate you from beast as well.
Yeah.
Because when you go into those two senses, is the ability to learn. Cognition is deep thought, the ability to think deep and break things down. And the sixth sense, understanding, right, is the ability to come up with comprehension. Because a lot of people don't have the comprehension, and that's why they're telling they got 5 senses.
Yeah.
Right? But they kind of on point, because they're lacking those other 2 senses.
yeah.
You know?
I remember just to finish up with this saying. How shall I say that one sparrow wouldn't fall to the ground except the Lord sanction it?
That's
Say
right.
how much better you is.
Yeah.
So we are way better than the beasts of the earth.
God.
Way better.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Just wanted to say,
Because it's written in Romans, the creature, right? It's subject Romans 8. It says the creature subjected to vanity.
Made subject on
Made subject unto vanity, which is basically going back to this flesh. Right? It's the inward man.
Yeah,
right?
that's what make the difference.
The difference. Right? Because the 7 talk about the inward man and the outward man. It's the beast against the spiritual man.
Yeah. I read it back. This is Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22. It says, For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have no understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Yep, yep.
And what to do good, they have no knowledge, right? So these men, because they like that, they don't know what's the outcome. And that's why it's easy for Elam to use Jake to do certain things. Because them man ain't got no reasoning with it within themselves. Right? And these people again, oh, yes, make black people look bad, black people look bad. Hey, it's written. Let these multitude that created in vain let them perish.
Yeah.
Right? And them is men one got it. It's like bicycle riders, them. You know, hey, slack your fools like bicycle, right? I mean none, but you know, them men ones, you know, they're there for nothing. Right? This Wisdom of Solomon 17.
Yeah,
verse
I
12.
could read this precept for you really quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 7, right? At 7, it say, but we have this treasure in earthen vessel, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us. So the excellency go back to the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that dwelling in us is a more upgrade spirit inside of us.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why you even say, hey, once you don't know this truth, once you don't know me, they are beasts. They become like the creature of the field. So they could die and come back. The Lord don't care about them.
Yeah.
But you know it's different. Because well, we have this treasure in us. This truth, this truth is what make a difference. You understand? Hey, let the cluster of my grave be kept. You understand? Hey, it's like, matter of fact, it's like the Lord favorite, the elect. You know, you make a whole bunch of things, but there's one, you know, I like the lilies. The Lord like the lilies. The most I like the lily. You understand? You have a favorite sea, a favorite thing about everything. And that is what we being the hopeful elect. You understand? That's what makes us special. Because in the book Second Ezra, I think it's in 2, he went so far to say, the Lord went so far to say, with much laboring have I bring forth them. But with the normal people, he didn't do that. You understand? Though he did it, but he put more extra work into the elect. So this will make us special. Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes going so far in this world, sometimes it is what? True what? Sometimes it's hard to comprehend, but this is the most I do indeed. That's why Yahushua say, when Yahushua appear, we can be like he.
Yeah.
It's then we can really feel, you know, the full extent of why the most I the so she must love to the elect.
Yeah,
But
can.
the beast itself.
And even though we in this low estate, right? The Lord said that Adam couldn't even hide himself among the other trees.
That's right.
That's how much he know the elect. That's how special he is.
Yeah.
He couldn't hide himself. He tried to hide himself. He said, "No, you can't hide me, girl. I know you. There's a light that
among darkness.
there's a saying.
Okay.
You understand? There's a light.
Yeah.
And even though the entire Israel is a light too, there's a brighter light
Break among the elect.
among them. You see?
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm like touching a point too, right? The
was-
first
that was
movie, Avatar. You see how he was connected to everything, every creature, everything that was moving, the trees, everything? This just so the elect gonna be connected to every single thing.
Hey, the movie Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy. And we basically and elect know and Eason know that this is how the elect is really. You see Lucy, but they use drugs, you know, they fucking drugs. We using Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's right.
Right? They're staged. This is why the scripture say we're gonna go from what? Glory to glory.
That's right.
So what Lucy did, or the stages that she went, because even in that she see lies, right? But men evolving from Monkey Island, nah. We gonna get a full truth. And you know what hit me really bad in the movie is that she could have seen that the tree had life. Everything had a code. And we all have codes. The scripture tell you in the book of Psalms. But go ahead.
Yeah. Man was breaking down, showing how the sound of flute could actually settle trees. You know, with the heavy winds and so on in the forest, he was playing a flute and the trees actually calm while he was playing the flute. So, like I say, everything got, you know, the life in them. Yeah. Right? This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 12. It says, "For fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succors,
Yeah.
um, which reason offering." Right. So basically, is going back to knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. It's what you don't know. Right. That's
Yeah.
what you're afraid of.
Yeah.
You understand? When you really check it, we don't know. Like, it's a reason why we don't have the power right now foresee what will happen. We're concerning us. You don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow. You know? When you castle that, you don't know if you're gonna win it. You understand? The snake in front of you, you don't know if you get bite by it or what will happen to you, even if you get bite, if you're gonna survive. You understand? So basically, this that what fear is not having the knowledge, right? That's why it's important to lean on your Alba your side.
Yeah.
All right, but at the same time, building yourself up with much wisdom and understanding. If you lack in them wisdom and understand, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And the apostles they make videos saying that one thing what will make men be so precious and find gold, women looking up to us and so on, is because we can acquire the we can basically get the ability to um have a sober mentality when shit is in the fun, right? How these men so calm, how these men so and stuff like that. Why they ain't hollering and falling down every 2 run you fall down on the ground, you look back, you're like a damsel in distress, why you like that? Right? It's the power, the spirit of calmness that will be upon us.
Okay.
Right?
I could read a precept right now.
Yeah. That's some more it say, and the expectation from within being less. You understand? Because you could get some expectation and your expectation could be really low. You understand? Your expectation could be really low, and these people, their expectation of a fucking rapture, you understand? Of some the
They
who
can drive in and they just get caught up and
and
people
so
can
they,
crash.
them thing is really low without people paying for the sins against Yahweh or come against Israel. I for night tooth for tooth. You understand? He that did it into captivity must go into captivity, right? That the kingdom ain't gonna get no sex and we can have bear back children. That the kingdom is in a spiritual realm. So on this part here, all we know is punishment, but we only expect God, get paradise in the spiritual realm. You understand? Just low thinking. All right, floating around the place like you don't do nothing but float. Reading again, it says, and the expectation from within being less, counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
If I could add something up, this is why the fear Shatan more now the fear the most high.
Yeah,
Because they thinking is that hey, the most high is Allah and Shatan and cut into hell and they're gonna born forever. So the fear is towards stuff and not towards Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shai.
yep, yeah.
Yeah, this is yeah, you want to go back to something you was good? Right. Zephaniah chapter 3 and 19. You see, and I will deal severally with all those that oppress you. Right, this is the NLT. You see, and I will save the weak and the helpless one. I will bring them together, those who were cast away. I will give glory and fame to the former exile, wherever they have been mocked and shamed. So in the same time, the Lord said He's gonna rebuild us, give us back the fame. We was exiled. This is why the power was taken away from us. Right? It said, on that day I will gather you together and bring you home again. I will give you a good name and a name of distinction among all the nations on the earth. As I restore your fortune before their very eyes, I, the Lord, have spoken. So the Lord see He gonna rebuild us back, right? And we in the time basically where the Lord is rebuilding us. You understand? And a part of the rebuilding is what? Giving us spiritual power and making our name distinction, meaning that what He set us apart. You understand? And that's what make us different from these beasts, these creatures, these reprobate silver. So we're special men, man. You understand? Yeah, that's it. I don't know if you get it.
No, so Lord's willing, you know, the message is clear. You understand? Death to America, death to Guyana, you know, death to all these other countries that follow after the pagan ways of America. All right? All praises, honor, and glory belong to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kadash. Double honors unto the elders and to the apostles of great Mason, and salutations to the open elect. Right? Shalom.
Shalom, Rakata.
Abad Babal.
Abad Babal.
Abad Babal.
Abad Babal.
Abad Babal.
Abad Babal.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Shalom.
Shalom.